Run your law firm the right way. This is the Maximum Lawyer Podcast. Your hosts, Jim Hacking and Tyson Mutrux. Let's partner up and maximize your firm. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to another episode of the Maximum Lawyer Podcast, and Happy New Year. I'm Becca Eberhart, CEO at Maximum Lawyer, and this week we're kicking off 2024. In today's episode, we're talking about one way to make this year different from the rest. And let's be honest, there's a ton of things that you can do to make this year different or better, and it can be something different for everyone. But I do think this one thing could help anyone, and it's a great thing to reflect on and ask yourself, where do I stand on this one thing? And that is, do you break promises to yourself? I was once on a coaching call and they asked us, how confident are you that you'll meet this goal that you set for yourself? And they were a little surprised when I confidently said, oh, I'll meet it. I don't break promises to myself. But it wasn't always this way. Truthfully, this confidence came from becoming sick and tired of self-sabotage. I've always tried my best to keep my word to everyone else, but when it came to myself, it wasn't nearly as important. That was until I was able to identify that I wasn't growing as quickly as I wanted, and I wasn't seeing the progress I wanted in my life, and that was because I was consistently breaking the promises I made to myself. So often we make promises to others and try our best to keep them. Yet when it comes to the commitments we make to ourselves, the follow-through can be a bit more elusive. The truth is, we've all broken promises like this, and it might feel like no big deal. After all, the only person you're letting down is you. Author Scott H. Young said it best. Breaking promises to yourself has the same cost as breaking it to other people, except the person you trust less is you. Breaking promises to yourself almost guarantees that you'll continue to do it, because you subconsciously believe yourself less and less every time you say you're going to do something and then don't follow through. You might be thinking, yes, keeping promises to myself sounds great, but how do I make the change when I'm giving my all to everyone else and I feel like I don't have the time or energy left? And that's what makes it easy for me to break the promises I make to myself. First, you have to flip your mindset. If you don't hold the belief that breaking promises to yourself is a bad thing, you won't stop. But if you can put your self-respect on the same level as everyone else in your life that you consistently do things for, you'll soon see changes in what you accomplish. Next, if you make a promise and nobody heard it, did it really happen? The problem with making promises only in your mind is there's no trail, no accountability, and no consequences when you fail to follow through. The entire act of breaking promises to yourself can seem like not that big of a deal when this is the way you go about it. But this is why we need to change how we make our promises. If you've set out to do something, it needs to be written down somewhere. Maybe it's just a sticky note on your desk where you can see it every day, or maybe you love a good to-do list, so you put it in the Notes app on your phone, or in a task management software. I really like adding goals into task management software like Asana, even if it's for my personal life. This way, you can set it to recurring if it's a habit you're trying to incorporate, or at a due date if it's something more like a project that you can complete. By taking your promise from a mere thought to writing it down, you turn it into something tangible. Finally, in making this change stick, is to commit to less. Wait, what? You said this was about making this year better. Well, in this case, less is more or better. You wouldn't schedule an appointment with your doctor when you couldn't go, right? So don't overschedule or overcommit yourself to yourself. Be as realistic as you are with others when you tell yourself you're going to do something. It's human nature to want to think about future possibilities and dream big, but there's a reason most people don't keep their New Year's resolutions. By being someone who agrees to less but regularly follows through, you'll cultivate more self-respect, trust, and confidence. And when you say no to a new promise, you'll be saying yes to investing in the promises you've already made. That's it for this week. Cheers to 2024. A year where keeping our promises to ourselves becomes the foundation for the lives we want to live and the businesses we want to grow.
Thanks for listening to the Maximum Lawyer Podcast. To stay in contact with your host and to access more content, go to MaximumLawyer.com. Have a great week and catch you next time.